ask one so young, but what next for you? There's a whole life ahead of you.
I'm sort of annoyed by this question because I'm only 21 and I'm thinking, what would I do when I'm 30?
What are you going to do?
I haven't got a clue. I haven't got a clue. You know, I think with the music industry and with everything to do with this job, it's ever changing all the time. You never know what's around the corner. You know, we plan things that will happen in 6 months, and then you think you're doing it in 6 months, and then it gets pulled at the last minute. You know, everything changes. It's such a fast industry. But, you know, we've got lots of plans for next year for a new album, hopefully more touring. I would love to go and travel the world with new music and take it to different countries.
What sort of music are you talking about now? What do you think you would want to perform?
You know, I think the concept of what we've done with the past 2 albums is Classic and Classic Christmas, where you get a bit of the kind of the operatic style of the music, and then you get a bit of the kind of soft ballads with the orchestra. It really works. People have really took to it and enjoy that style. So I don't really want to ruin something that works already, and I don't want to kind of start going, all right, I'm going to be the next Dolly Parton now, let's take on a bit of country and western. You know, I'm going to kind of keep the same trend, but, you know, I want to grow as an artist and experience new things, bit of songwriting, and, you know, just better myself and try and get bigger and better every time.
And is there anyone you sort of base elements of your career on? Do you look at work by someone such as, I don't know, Russell, and you think, yes, I like a little of what he does, or others?
I really like what Russell does, actually. You know, he touches on all different styles of music. He puts his own slant on it. And I think, you know, it's a really important thing because a lot of music does get mixed out by masses. And I think if you can bring that to different people, and, you know, I think especially with some of my fans previous to Pop Star Opera Star, they wouldn't have went near a classical song. And now I go on the tour, I sing Next Door, and there's a 5-year-old girl up front singing it, all the words, word for word. Or there's a 13-year-old girl singing Time to Say Goodbye. You know, when you can do something like that, it's really special. And I think, you know, I'd love to carry on being able to do that.
We've talked a lot about the pressures of fame and being a star. Of course, that brought with it another bit of a toll. Everyone's excitement about your sexuality, which as a young man is tough enough anyway. What was that like for you?
It was made to be a much bigger deal than it was. But what had happened is, you know, I was 18 when the show finished, and I came out of the show, and I just got bombarded. I suppose I was protected by it in the show, and then you go to a round table of journalists, and I was just bombarded with all these questions about who I had slept with, who I had kissed, and I was like, and I've never experienced any of this before. You know, I was like, where have all these questions coming from? And so, you know, I was so busy, and I wrapped myself up in the work, and I didn't have time to think about anything. Then I had a bit of time off after the X Factor tour, had time to think about everything, and I was like, okay, I realised who I was as a person, and the questions are still coming in. It was this obsession with finding out if I was dating anybody, and I started to get a bit sick of it because I was going into an interview and nobody would ask about what my song was called, or what the album was, or what it was like to win the X, you know, all these things. And this one day, I just sat with me around, and I was just like, I just said, this is who I am as a person. I want to talk about it, and I want to just stop all of this ridiculous service of questions. And so I did that interview, and it stopped it all. You know, I said, I'm going to talk about it once. I'm going to tell you what it is and what's what, and there you go. Have it and take it. Do whatever you want with it.
And of course, now in your industry, no one bats an eye.
It was, yeah. I mean, obviously, it wasn't an ideal situation to announce it to the whole of the country. But, you know, if you're going to talk about it, that's what happens. It just gets blown up. But I made sure, you know, I spoke with my family and friends about it first, and everybody I knew. And I kind of and people were just really supportive. I was overwhelmed by the support.
So much in 21 years. Goodness knows what the next 21 years will hold. Joe just introduced the final selection, and of course, it's another carol.
This is a beautiful classic that is "O Come All Ye Faithful."